I'm giving away this World Championship belt from WWEshop.com once I hit 100,000 subscribers, so go ahead and click subscribe today. All right, guys, we got a big one right here on the Ango Show. I, of course, am Ango. I want to kick things off with some very interesting news surrounding Survivor Series because we know the show has sold out, but WWE has decided to add more tickets to the event. And because they're adding more tickets to the event, it looks like there's going to be some changes to the setup, which is really intriguing. I wonder how they're going to go about it. So WrestleTix put out a tweet today. WWE expanded the setup configuration for Survivor Series at Allstate Arena. The new setup accommodates a total of 15,342 seats, which essentially is 2,784 new seats compared to the previous configuration that they've done. What's really strange, though, is that the setup where they added the seats are on the left quadrant and the right quadrant behind the Titantron, which means in order for WWE to pull this off successfully, they have to have a smaller stage setup configured for the event. Otherwise, the people behind the Titantron will not be able to see. Now, when you look at the, like the Ticketmaster seating chart for the event, it doesn't look like WWE is doing what they did for SummerSlam or for Royal Rumble or for some of these other events where they're using the long tunnel that kind of like curves in for the entrance ramp. So WWE will have a different stage for Survivor Series. Are they going to be debuting something new? What kind of change is this going to be? And honestly, I'm kind of shocked that WWE decided to add more seats, but this is War Games. So I feel like WWE is going to have to do a smaller stage design, which is obviously a good thing for fans. Now, obviously, when you do War Games, you also have to account for 2 rings being in the middle. So look, I'm excited to see how this all goes down. The fact that Survivor Series is this popular, a lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people are excited about it. It's a very good thing. There's a high interest level there. But I'm actually just really intrigued to see what the overall presentation aspect of everything is going to look like. And then I also wonder, too, will WWE sell out of these 2,784 new seats that they've added? Because if the demand is there, I want to see WWE try to beat the WrestleMania record from Allstate Arena, what they've done before, which would be very intriguing and very difficult, but it would be very fun and very cool if they were to achieve that. Top WWE stars are expected to miss Crown Jewel. WWE, Nick Khan have made quite a few business decisions. This is one that makes a lot of sense from a business perspective. However, I could definitely understand people's frustration. WWE Intercontinental Champion Gunther, WWE Women's Champion Io Sky, NXT Women's Champion Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair are all being advertised for a house show on this same day, which indicates that they will not be at Crown Jewel. These top stars are missing Crown Jewel so they could work a house show. Now, we know Nick Khan is a big believer in more house shows. We also know that Nick Khan is a big believer in stadium shows that are international. To me, I love the idea of Gunther and Io Sky defending their belts on SmackDown and Raw. It makes the shows feel must-see when you're having these championship matches on TV, right? But this will be the 3rd straight pay-per-view that Gunther is not on. Meaning, yes, he's made Raw much more valuable, but it is kind of disappointing to see that this guy's not on a pay-per-view. Do they have to be on every pay-per-view? No. I understand it, right? Less matches on the card, higher quality. It's not like Gunther has a massive, massive, massive program going into Crown Jewel. So I understand, he's doing all of these side quests basically on Raw. And same thing for Io Sky. It's not like she needs to be at Crown Jewel defending the championship because Rhea Ripley more than likely will be the only women's championship belt on the line, considering the fact that she's got the women's world championship. So I understand the strategy. I believe in the strategy. But on the flip side to that, I understand where people are a little bit disappointed that top stars are missing pay-per-views. However, with this strategy, one thing I do kind of want to point out, it'd be nice to kind of just hopefully give WWE some slack here. But if you're going to have some of your top stars missing the show because they're going to be on a house show, maybe this would be a good time to have DIY versus Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci, right? Like maybe like you could start building some high quality matches that are kind of like mid-card feuds or something. Just an idea, right? Like you got Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits doing something. You got Dragon Lee and Legado del Fantasma and LWO and Rey Mysterio and Logan Paul. Like there's a lot of things that could be done there. Some of these mid-card feuds should be in the obviously they should be in the pay-per-view, and I'm hoping that's something that WWE will do. If you're going to have certain people not be on the pay-per-view, try to get others that may not have been on the pay-per-view to begin with. But with that being said, I want to turn our attention to our final story of the day. People laughed at me when I talked about this before, and now it looks like there actually could be some serious interest here. Just for the record, I still believe CM Punk is going to go back to WWE. I want to get that out of the way, but you guys got to hear this. Sean Ross Sapp was asked on social media, specifically on X, whether or not CM Punk could show up to Bound for Glory. And he says, I know a lot of people scoff at it, but yeah, Impact would welcome CM Punk. Beyond obvious reasons, people said he was really great backstage when he visited. And then backup Hangman from Wrestle Purist, he came out and says that they reached out to him and threw an offer out there. So it looks like an offer for CM Punk to join Impact is on the table. Now, of course, anytime I talk about Impact, people are going to talk about the clear thing that everybody knows, that Impact doesn't have the money that WWE and AEW has. Now, let me just be very clear. Impact, owned by Anthem, very successful company. They're doing great things. But yes, they are not WWE and they're not AEW. Maybe they can afford it, but it doesn't mean they should necessarily just be spending money like crazy. At the end of the day, I don't know what their checkbooks look like, so I'm not going to speculate on their money. But what I will say is, from a business perspective, CM Punk going to Impact is like a no-brainer, right? Impact is kicking ass. They're doing great stories. People there like him. You know, obviously CM Punk is going to help improve their overall business. It could be the thing that changes a lot of stuff for Impact, because right now a lot of people just tend to talk negatively about Impact but don't watch Impact. Like they just do it because it's part of the social media clout. So if you bring in CM Punk, it kind of changes the narrative. I do believe CM Punk goes back to WWE, but Bound for Glory is in Chicago. The wrestling industry is crazy, and if there's an offer out there, I'm just saying it could make a lot of sense. And for Punk, it could make a lot of sense because there's not as much pressure on him. And on top of that, it's not like Impact. More than likely, I don't think Impact would give him a hard time about doing his UFC, Cage Fury fighting championship, commentary gig. Things like that would be acceptable. But do you guys think CM Punk will sign with Impact? Do you think he goes to WWE? I want to know what you guys think. Let me know down below.